Hi, Cindy Williams, Executive Director of the Harwich Chamber. It's a fabulous day in Harwich, and I am here today with our Member Spotlight, Small Talk with Local Businesses, and TLC Private Home Care. I'm here with Jolene and Bea, and welcome, ladies. It's so great to have you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's get right into it. Jolene, can you tell me about TLC Home Care?
So TLC Private Home Care has been in business for about 3 years, and we started during COVID. We opened doors 15 days before COVID began, but I used to work for the VNA of Cape Cod, so we knew some of our clients right away needed help. So we started off really good, really positive. TLC Private Home Care can provide personal care for your loved ones in their home. It doesn't have to be just a senior. It can be somebody who's having post-surgical care needed. It can be someone who has Alzheimer's, someone who has dementia, someone whose kids don't live close by. That happens a lot on Cape Cod. You can always see that a lot. But that's what TLC Private Home Care is all about, and it's special to me. TLC stands for the Linden Company, and Linden was my 25-year-old son, and he passed away in 2018. Oh. But I wanted to honor him with something.
What a wonderful way, and like you said, it's taking care of loved ones, so it's a great way to honor him as well. So you started to tell us about some of the services. Any specific things that you can mention that TLC does?
We specialize in 12 and 24-hour care, but we also can do 8 hours, 4 hours if needed. It's very hard on the Cape with people getting around, and housing is always a problem, but we're pretty flexible, with what we can provide. We can do a lot of personal care. Personal care seems to be the biggest one. Mm-hmm. Some of our loved ones, when they're alone, they get lonely, they get depressed. They're not eating correctly. They're not drinking enough. They're dehydrated. They tend to stay in the same clothes sometimes. So we provide the personal care that we can do the showering, and we can do the groceries and the meal prep and the meal planning. Sure. We can make meals for 3 or 4 days out. That's helpful. We can transport them to doctor's appointments. There's always care under a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, so everybody's under my license. And it always has the nursing model of care component. So it's pretty important.
What is important to the agency when you're hiring caregivers?
Caregivers have to be certified. They have to have gone through a certification program, and they have to have experience. They have to be vaccinated. We put them through a very rigid interview, and then usually on the first or second time that they go out into the field, we have a nurse go with them to make sure they're doing everything that they're supposed to. But that's important, finding good help is...
Exactly, and as you touched on it too, housing is a challenge, yes, as we all know, but it's such a special service that you offer. Bea, I know you are the manager of the East Harwich branch. Let me ask you, are there certain things that how a client would qualify? Is there something special that like how would you know if it's a good fit?
Well,
either one of you or both.
So we have this hospital to home program where we can go out into the facility or the hospital where they are. We get a chance to speak with not only the family members and the patient, but the doctor, nurse, physical therapist, occupational therapist. It gives us a better picture of the client coming home. And then we do a safety assessment at home when they do get there. And we can have the nurse and the caregiver at the same time to meet them at the home.
And that way, so that's how you would know if they qualify for what, if it's a good fit too, for what you offer and what they need.
Right, exactly.
And then we match them with the caregivers. We have experienced caregivers. Some clients require companionship, so they don't need very skilled caregivers. Sure. But all our caregivers are skilled. They go through a rigorous hiring process, 32 pages of paperwork, quality checks, certification checks, and experience. We only want the best.
Exactly. So now, how is the decision made of who and how the home care for the family is right? Like who makes that decision? Is it up to the family? Is it up to you?
So the family calls and we do what's called an intake, and it's a form. We try to get as much information as we can on that form. We need to know like mobility status, if they use a walker or a cane, if they have cognitive issues, hearing, vision, all of that. We need to know their date of birth, height and weight, and what's going on with mom, what's happening that you called us today. And then they start running through a list of things that are going on, and we can tell from an intake if we're going to do the assessment or not. Sometimes we get the assessment right away, or sometimes it's urgent care, like they need it tomorrow, and we can't always do that, but we do our very best.
But also it depends on where the clients come from, because if they come from a facility, we can meet them there.
Sure.
But sometimes we meet them at their home. The family members are going away. They're not here year round, so they are concerned about their loved ones, so this is when we come into the picture, and that's the same procedure, the same protocol. The nurse will come out and evaluate the home setting, how safe it is, are there any barriers to mobility,
Right.
And then we will step right there in their home.
Right.
In absence of their loved one, their daughter, their son,
Sure.
who are not there. So we can provide respite care or long-term care for the time that their loved ones are not.
And even vacations, we cover vacations. People bring their loved ones to the gate,
Right.
and they want to go to the beach, or they want to go out to dinner, and mom is here, but mom is too tired.
Sure.
So we can join them in the home.
And people want to be in their homes, so this is a great way for them to be in their homes, getting the best care possible with that. So how can someone, a prospective family, reach out to you?
They can call us. The number's here, and the number is on the back of every single brochure.
Great.
And this is Lyndon. He's with us all the time.
So if someone wanted to reach you, they would reach you at 508-383-3956. Also, checking your website, which is tlcprivate.com.
We also have an email. It's tlcprivatehomecare1@gmail.com.
Also, feel free to check out our Google reviews. We have excellent reviews so far, and we intend to keep it that way.
That's wonderful. And as I mentioned, there are two locations. The main one is in Buzzards Bay, and then the new East Harwich location over off of 39. And it's a great facility. I've been in. We've done some events there with you all. But I want to thank you. Is there anything that we should let everyone know prior to us wrapping up our member spotlight with you?
Well, we have a new location on the rise that is coming.
Excellent.
We're looking for space up Route 3.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you'll have to keep us posted on that. But I want to thank both Jolene and Bea for being here with us today, informing us of all the things that go into making that informative decision for healthcare, or home care rather, for our loved ones. Please reach out to TLC Home Care, Private Home Care. Again, it's 508-383-3956, or their website, tlcprivate.com. And until our next Member Spotlight Small Talk with Local Businesses, I'm Cindy Williams at the Harwich Chamber of Commerce. Make it a great day.